Hello, beautiful people. My name is Alex Catano, and this is another episode of Movies with Alex. Even though we are not reviewing a movie, instead, we're watching a TV show series from Disney Plus, that, of course, being Hawkeye, but it is connected to a bunch of movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or should I say all of them to that extent. And I'm actually super excited to talk about this one because this one, honestly, was probably the best one out of the series for me. I like that it was low budget. Didn't try to like be this big epic phenomenon like not to discredit the rest of the ones with like WandaVision, Loki, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I felt like those needed to be like a high budget um, type of show. This one just needed to be low key, simple, and to the point. I mean, even Jeremy Renner has said like I won't do it unless it's like pretty low key and low budget, and I gotta commend him for that. And where does this take place? Well, it takes place in Christmas time, following Avengers Endgame, where Hawkeye is just hanging out with his family, just in a big downward spiral. Because even though he's happy that the Avengers won, we lost Black Widow in the process. One of his closest friends, and a lot of people are saying that the Avengers were wrong for beating Thanos. Like there was constantly referencing the whole fact that Thanos was right and all of this stuff. And then somewhere in the middle of all of this, Hawkeye runs into Hailee Steinfeld's character, Kate Bishop, which will eventually lead to like a big uh, duo throughout the series. So, with that said, that is going to be it for the spoiler-free side of things. Um, I am ready to pretty much spoil the rest of this. So yeah, it's gonna be heavy spoilers. I really recommend you to check out the series, but that was just based on what you see on the trailer, and yeah, that's let's get on with it. So Kate Bishop's character is pretty much she's a big fanatic. Like her favorite Avenger is Hawkeye of all people, which they constantly run jokes about it, considering that to many Hawkeye is the least valuable Avenger. I mean, it's been joked about it in SNL. Even like in Avengers: Age of Ultron, they said that Jeremy Renner's character Hawkeye said like, "Oh, they don't need me. I'm just the arrow guy." And his wife was like, "No, I think that the scary part is that if you leave, then they'll realize how much they need you." And I like that they still go forward to that without making it so comedic, like, "Oh, you're just the guy who shoots arrows." Like, no, they really show you why Hawkeye was very valuable to the Avengers after all that time. And something that was very big in Avengers Endgame was that Hawkeye turned evil following the death of his family by the snap or the blip in this universe, where he turns into Ronin and he's constantly going after hunting people in the mafia and stuff like that. And pretty much he messes with the wrong crowd, and that dark path is trying to haunt him when people are working with Kate Bishop's mom, who is played by Vera Famiga, and she's constantly she just kind of like is part of this secret mafia, which later we find out it's run by the Kingpin, and there's constantly like other villains throughout. There's like some guys in like just like gym outfits. They even actually I'll get to that part later, but I really liked one of my favorite new characters was Tony Dalton's character Jack, who we all thought was gonna be the bad guy. Instead, he was like the hero in the end of all of this. Cause he looks evil, like he looks like an '80s villain. Like they constantly reference his mustache, like he got a better mustache than Henry Cavill, like all kinds of things. And he was very funny and entertaining. And I really thought he was gonna be the bad guy, but no, plot twist, he ends up being a hero. And he kind of reminded me of what Jack Sparrow was supposed to be before he turned into the infamous Johnny Depp that we all know and hate today. um, but he was great. Um, but the biggest point of this movie TV show was that we wanted to get people behind Kate Bishop because she was going to get ready to be the next Hawkeye. Because in this series and even in real life, I think Jeremy Renner is done as Clint Barton. He wants to like just retire and just like or go back to low budget films. I know Jeremy Renner is one of the guys that's like he just wants to go back to low budget films, and that it's this would be a great way to retire the Hawkeye character. I don't think we need him anymore. And people were afraid that this was going to be the Hailee Steinfeld show. No, this was strictly Hawkeye. I mean, yes, Hailee Steinfeld played in a lot of parts. I mean, without her, she was the one that found the Ronin suit after they were trying to uh, auction it. She's the one who put it away after a big mafia attacks, and she runs away with the suit on just so people don't recognize her. In doing so, she finds a dog who, in the comics, is I think they call him Pizza Dog. Uh, yeah, yeah, that's a golden retriever with like one eye, and yeah, that was a very special character. Even though the dog wasn't around for much, but it was great that they reference the comics for those that did follow the comics. But anyways, back to the story. I really enjoyed the interactions between these two. How like it starts like Hawkeye just wants to go home. He just wants this to be over with. He wants just the Ronin suit just so he could throw it away. But unfortunately, he is trying to or someone is after revenge after believing that Ronin was killed by or Ronin killed this character's father, which was Echo, played by Alexx Cox. She's a brand new actress. She's Native American, one leg, and has she can't hear, and so she's been doing sign languages. And at first, I'm like, when I first saw this, like, I didn't really follow like anything behind the scenes or anything. So when I like heard about this character, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe this is how she is in the comics. And then, sure enough, no, it was just because the actress really is deaf and she really only has one leg and she has to wear like a special type of like leg so she could properly walk. And she was phenomenal. Like she looked threatening. It didn't take away, like, and that's I think the biggest thing about it. Like it didn't take away, just because of like her past. Like I really really enjoyed this character. The biggest thing that's coming out of this is a spin-off with her. I don't think we need a spin-off. Like I don't need to watch a show named Echo. I would love to see her maybe be a part of the Young Avengers. There's a rumor of an all-female Avengers. That would be pretty cool. Or I don't know, Dark Avengers or something. But I think this is the thing I'm gonna say about the MCU. I think they are trying so hard to make everybody have their own show. I think we need time to like just calm down. Let's like not make everybody a character because then little by little, literally everybody's gonna have a TV show, a movie, and stuff. Like we need to like tone it down. Like there's a reason why Solo, a Star Wars story, is very hated because we didn't need that. Or at least we didn't have to like. Sometimes we have to limit ourselves. Like let's work with what we got. Let's see what clicks. If they do pull off the Echo show, I would love to see it, and if it is good, like I don't want it just to be like, oh look, we have it just because. Like that's why Captain Marvel failed. Like it did good in the box office numbers because it's an MCU property, but for the most part, the critics really just hated that. Or look at the Eternals, who like wanted to see the Eternals, and it's to this day the lowest budget or like the lowest rated film in the MCU. Like because we want everything, we want everybody and everything to have something, a movie, a TV show, a spin off, whatever. let's just tone it down. Let's just calm down. Let's just take a breath of fresh air. Let's appreciate the work that she's done, and I like that she got her comeuppance in the sense that like she got resolution to everything when she find out that Ronan wasn't the one who killed her father. Instead, she was hired by her brother, who's been like the one helping her all along, and her um, leader, Kingpin, played by the great Vincent D'Onofrio. He was great as Kingpin. I'll get to that part later, but um, we all want to talk about that infamous scene. But there's just so much to add to it. And then this came out of left field. I didn't like these guys. But they had these friends of Hawkeye that were like in charge of like the party at the end, and apparently they all come in like super suits and like they just try to be like superheroes. It was I don't like that, and I didn't need it. I would have just stuck with Jack, Kate Bischoff, and Hawkeye at the end fighting. Just those three. We didn't need to like add all these extra guys. Um, that were just working at that party. I didn't need that. Um, One of the things that people want me to know or talk to you about is Florence Pugh as Yelena, or in this case the new Black Widow. Florence Pugh, I thought she was great as uh, Yelena in the Black Widow film. I thought she was pretty funny and entertaining. Um, would I have had her on the show? Absolutely. I think it was great. Was she overly comedic? Yes, was, but I think that's what like worked great for her. She didn't need to be just like dark like Black Widow. She had to be different, and plus she's younger, so I thought she was very fun and her role was great, and I like that she had a like the answers that she wanted. Like she was just mad at this point. She's like she knew that she had no choice, like, or that Hawkeye didn't have a choice when she was fighting Black Widow. Like, he was like, she goes, "You should have fought harder. You should have been the one that sacrificed yourself, not her." And she's like, "You know that wouldn't happen. We all know that Black Widow's a tough fighter." And I'm happy that Yelena's coming back. There's no way she's not coming back. I mean, Florence Pugh is pretty much that next girl that like Hollywood is going after. Same thing with Hailee Steinfeld. Like these girls are in everything nowadays. Edge of 17, Bumblebee, Pitch Perfect, and then for Florence Pugh we had Finding with My Family, Midsummer. I know I'm missing some movies out there, but these girls are out there and they're being well known and they're basically almost in every film at this point. And not to discredit them, they're phenomenal actresses. I think they're pretty much what Benedict Cumberbatch before he they're pretty much what Benedict Cumberbatch is now before he became Doctor Strange. Because I remember Benedict Cumberbatch was like in every film at that point. Remember, he was in the Hobbit movies. He was the dragon. Star Trek. He was Khan. Even though people had said no, that's not Khan. That's Khan. Um, so yeah, I'm happy that we're getting these two. And Hailee Steinfeld is probably my favorite actress right now. Not just because I have a massive crush on her, but she's very funny, entertaining, and just like a lot of fun. And that's kind of what you need in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Someone that's pretty fun. And I guess let's just talk about the finale that people are questioning. So Kingpin comes back on the show. He was teased throughout the entire season, and then at the end, episode 5, they say, "Oh, this is the guy we've been afraid of the whole time." And sure enough, it's the Kingpin, and he fights Kate Bischoff. Um, they go to war pretty much at the end. She's throwing every arrow possible, and then they finally pay off the whole coin trick and how it like turn on all the exploding arrows. And I like that's another thing. I like how they explain how all the arrows are different, like how they work and like how Hawkeye could tell the difference. That was great. But that coin trick, I wasn't a big fan of how Kate Bishop figured it out pretty quickly because according to the story, this wrote it took Hawkeye years for him to learn the trick, And I get it, Kate Bishop learns a lot faster, I guess. That's the story. But how cool would it have been if Kate Bishop is constantly just practicing throughout the rest of the season, trying to do that coin trick, but she keeps messing up, keep messing up, keep messing up. And then at the end, she throws the coin and turns on all the arrows and blows off Kingpin. That would have been way much better storytelling than um her figuring it out. And I was like, oh, I figured it out, awesome, I know how to turn off the TV like that. But like, it was just like that was a wasted potential moment. I don't know if I'm wrong in that, but yeah. But anyways, the Kingpin didn't die. He was knocked out, and then the cops go after him, and then as Kingpin is running away, Echo finds him, and she shoots Kingpin, or so we think, because the camera goes up and he stops talking. So I don't know what's the story here. Is Kingpin dead? Is he gonna come back in Spider-Man 4? Spoiler alert. Um, who knows? And if they are doing that Echo spinoff, is it a prequel? Are they gonna show how she was trained, and then they're gonna show Kingpin from there? What's the story? I don't know. It's hard to tell now. Now that we have a multiverse, it's just like anybody could survive everything at this point. And I don't know. Do we really need the Kingpin here? Or was this his payoff, his final payoff? Because he was phenomenal in Daredevil, the Netflix series. I don't know if he could bring that Kingpin to the MCU Disney style, because there's so much different. Like, yes, I mean, I'm happy that we're probably going to get Jessica Jones back, but we're not gonna have that beer drinking, not caring type of Jessica Jones. Probably not. They're gonna like tone her down a lot. Same thing with Luke Cage, who's Iron Fist. So I guess this was the best way to go. Maybe there's another character that could be the similar to Kingpin. There's plenty of other characters that they could go work around, but I don't know. I felt like the Kingpin was like, I don't know. I personally would have had Echo beat up the police, kind of like saying like, I want Kingpin to myself, and then that gives Kingpin time to escape, and then we'll save him for a future movie, a future TV episode of I don't know, if Hawkeye continues with Kate Bishop, that would be great. Just stuff like that. And I just want to close off saying that like Hawkeye and Kate Bishop, that chemistry was great. I liked their interactions. They didn't feel forced. They just felt like two people who, one was a fanatic and the other one just wanted to go home. And that was great writing. I really like when they try to do great writing for characters. They do. And that's what the MCU sticks out for the most. Sometimes people don't care about like the big epic finale fight in these movies. Just keep that in mind, Marvel. Sometimes people just want great characters telling great stories that we cared about. No one cared about the Eternals. I'm gonna keep saying that because even though I haven't seen that movie, for all I know, that movie's great, but nothing catches my attention to watch that. Anyways, I love the chemistry with those two. I like that finale that they get to celebrate Christmas together. Like, yes, finally Hawkeye got his moment. He finally got to celebrate Christmas with his family. That's all he ever wanted. Let's let's just call it. Let's retire Clint for good, and then Kate Bishop is the next Hawkeye. Like, I think no one would complain. Plus it's Hailee Steinfeld. I mean, yeah, you can't go wrong with that. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. But you know, a lot of you are wondering like, oh, do they have an end credit scene? Yes, they do, and it was pretty funny. It was like Marvel Studios wishes all of our fans, a Merry Christmas, and here's your present. And it's the entire Broadway musical of Rogers. It was awesome. I loved it. They really committed to it, and even though it was low budget, I feel like Disney's like, no, we gotta spend some money. We have a bunch of money. We need to like at least do something great, and sure enough, they do that cheesy, corny musical, but everybody wanted to watch the whole thing, and they did it. It was awesome. I loved it. Yeah, check out the series. It's not perfect, but yeah, it does keep you intrigued, and it was more of a payoff to Clint's character. That's really all it was, a big payoff to Clint's character while introducing some new characters, bringing in some familiar faces, and bringing in their story. So I was happy that I saw it. Yeah, this was probably either this or Falcon and the Winter Soldier was my favorite of the series. Loki was great. I don't think it was as good as those two. Maybe I'm wrong. I need to check that out again. And I actually didn't like WandaVision. I thought the payoff was crap. Anyways, that's gonna be it. It's yours truly, Alex Catano, here with Movies with Alex. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and we'll see y'all next time.